Welcome to the Wealth Transfer with TC. Today I'm going to be discussing a number of BNB Binance meme tokens that were discussed last year within the Wealth Transfer community. Now, some of these coins that I'm getting ready to discuss were people were claiming that they were being prophetic. That people were claiming that God was showing them some of these coins. And we're going to get into some of that. Some of these prophecies were on YouTube, and some of these prophecies or dreams may have been like in a Telegram group or Discord group or whatever the case, right? Some people confirming that God is saying to invest in this token and so on. In some of these coins, I am putting out a warning for you guys because some of these are really popular, but there is an issue with liquidity and their social media posting and how the projects are not moving forward. The majority of these projects, the liquidity has been completely unlocked, and the liquidity can be pulled at any time. So some of these coins that I'm going to be discussing is like BNB LION, BNB FROG, BNB TIGER, BNB PANTHER, and a few others that they weren't even worth my time. When I heard some of the dreams and visions of some of these, I thought was absolutely ridiculous, and some of them weren't even prophetic words. They were just like, pray about it. When I hear things like that, I'm like, okay, you don't have any context to the prophecy at all whatsoever. Those are the kind of prophecies that I just ignore. And what I'm getting ready to go over is you will see now that many of these coins were not prophetic at all whatsoever. And so this is a warning. I'm not telling you to buy. I'm not telling you to sell it. You can make your own decision once I present the information. And that's all that I am doing. Right? Just like I did with Digimon Rabbit. I told you guys about the liquidity. I told you guys about some of these other coins. We're not always right, but I try to tell people, especially coins that are talked about in the community. But first, before I get into this, I'm not a financial advisor. I am just sharing information, giving you my thoughts and my opinions on that information. And if you guys like these videos that I make, the support links are down below in the description. Now, some of these coins I'm getting ready to discuss. Like I said, there was a BNB meme coin craze that was going on. Mainly it surrounded BNB Tiger because that was the main one. We were already in BNB Tiger, and then you had all these people had all these other prophecies concerning like BNB LION, BNB FROG, and so on. Some of these coins, people were just spitting out the name of it without any context, and people were investing, saying God told them to invest, and some of these, I believe, ended up being rug pulls. But it's just the fact that, one of the things that I have learned in this, folks, and this is my journey, right? So I'm not going to sit here and say, let's go over the prophecies. Let's go research the people who made these prophecies. You guys can do that on your own. All you have to do is type in BNB LION prophecy, dream, vision, and you'll see all the people that were talking about it. So these coins, you have to go to PancakeSwap to swap them out because that's where the liquidity is at. So if you try to do it through Uniswap or try to do it through your wallet, whatever the case, that may not work because you need to go to PancakeSwap. That's where the liquidity is at. That's why some people have a problem cashing out some coins because they're not on the right site for the liquidity pool. So this does put into more perspective of people who prophesy, people who have dreams and visions, whether or not if they are really hearing from God. And whether or not if they're misinterpreting their own dreams or visions. If they say, well, I had a dream about a lion. Well, how do you know it's about BNB LION? It could be about another kind of lion. Or it could relate to something completely different. Right? That's just an example when we're looking at all these coins. And anyone can prophesy coin going up and losing zeros. Right? In today's time, there are so many fake people trying to pump their coin or trying to promote a coin that they created. And the amount of deception that is in the wealth transfer community. And one of the reasons why it happens so much is because people refuse to deal with deception. They don't want to kick scammers out of their groups. They're still in some of those groups. Some of those ones that I exposed and told you guys about last year, they're still in some of those groups. Now, probably after this video, some people may decide to sell off. That's your decision, whether or not if you do that. So don't expect the price to stay where it's at. Also, too, once this word gets out, the people that run these projects, if they can, whatever liquidity they have left, they might try to pull it out. Now, the first sign of trouble is usually when you see your coin that you're following or that you invested in, they've stopped posting on social media. And they also have stopped updating in Telegram. There's no sign of moving forward, and there's always all talk but no show. And that really depends on how long the coin has been around, how they're moving forward and everything, because that's very important. Because if a project is not moving forward, it's all talk but no show. And then especially when their website is no longer working. So those are the things that we're going to go over each one of these different tokens. Now, when it comes to these Telegram groups, one of the things I want to point out is that in many of these Telegrams, there are people pretending to be the administrators, and they're trying to get you to send them crypto or trying to say that we're going to be relaunching. Please send your existing tokens to us. If the administrators were actually in the group and they were paying attention, or if they cared enough, they would delete those posts, but they are not. So you'll see some of that. So the first token we're going to go over is BNB LION, right? And that was kind of accompanied with BNB Tiger, because when I was exposed to BNB Tiger and I was investing in it, people were saying you need to buy BNB LION because this one guy or this one girl was prophesying about this token. There were other people who claimed to have prophetic insight that were promoting this token and so on. I told you guys to not put no more than $10 or $20 into these tokens if you decide that you wanted to do that, because it was being prophesied. I didn't make any specific videos on any of these tokens that I'm discussing. So the first thing is something told me to look into some of these coins. And of course, BNB LION, they haven't posted since March the 30th. And so I began to scroll down and I was looking to see, okay, they were pumping the coin. That was at a time when BNB LION was starting to move up, and people were like, well, what's going on with BNB LION? Is there something getting ready to happen? There have been 4 or 5 posts in the month of March, and the later end of March, and we hadn't seen anything since then. And before then, there was a gap from February the 22nd to March the 28th. Right? And before then, it was December the 5th of 2023, and before then, October the 17th. So these gaps are like in the months. And before October, then there was a post in September, then one in August, and then they reposted some replies that they did in August, right? Then you have July, and before then it was June. So it just seems like the posting is inconsistent with, promoting a project, making sure that it's going forward. So the liquidity is at 33,000, right? And it's unlocked. There's almost 4,000 holders. Contract has been renounced, so they can't change the sell tax. So that is a good thing. You have liquidity, which 66% of it was locked until April the 15th, and that has expired, right? So there's no locked liquidity. So at any time, if some of the major holders decided they wanted to sell off, they can take the liquidity. The other sign of trouble was when I clicked on their website, bnblion.net. It says here this domain has expired. So they're not even keeping up with their own website, right? So this project is not moving forward. When you go to the Telegram is filled with nothing but bots. There's people in here pretending to be the administrators. And of course, you can go to any Telegram and look at who the administrators are. And one's name is Minty, the other name is Koba, right? And they haven't posted. I think I went back almost like maybe 4 or 5 months, maybe even further than that. But this Telegram is just flooded with bot posts. Back on May 18th, this guy's pretending to be the administrator, and he's not. And so he's claiming that he's going to be leading the project and to send him your current BNB LION token. And the administrators have came into this room and they see this, and they're not removing any of those posts related to it. So that tells me that they are not involved in this project at all whatsoever. I'm not telling you that you should sell, but what I'm sharing with you is information that I think is important, whether or not if you should stay invested in it or not, before the liquidity gets pulled. So the next one I'm going to mention is BNB FROG. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was originally talked about from, I believe, Michael Lawrence and maybe some other people that were active more in the wealth transfer community back then. And I mentioned it once, and and I left it up to the people. But with this particular token, BNB FROG, a lot of people made money off of this coin, and I did too. And it actually stayed a lot more stable for a longer period of time than I thought that it would. But since then, the price has gone down dramatically. And this is a token that just only in the last couple of months has actually been inactive as far as social media. Okay, so I want to make that clear. But this is also a warning too as well. So here's the BNB FROG Twitter. They haven't made a post since March the 14th, so it's been over 2 months, right? And you look how consistent they are: March 4th, February 27th, January 11th, right? So they're posting like once a month, and then before then, they skipped all of December. So you had 11, 12, 13, 15. So you had a whole bunch of posts in November, right? So you had at least 15 posts in November, but before then, there hadn't been any posts since July the 17th. All right, so they came back, they ran it for a little while, and then they became scattered again, right? So I'm like, okay, so let's take a look at everything else that's going on with this token, right? You still have 34,000 in liquidity, and some of the liquidity is locked. So we'll take a look at that on Token Sniffer. So the contract is renounced, so they can't change the sell fee. It still has liquidity there, and 29% in pink lock till July 18th of 2025. 417 days ago. In 417 days, this liquidity will be unlocked. Now also looking at BNB FROG, and it's filled again with just bots. There hasn't been a post from the administrators for a long time. I've already previously scrolled through this, but you can go on your own. So when I scrolled through this, I went back months and months and months. So they've actually stopped posting in the BNB FROG Telegram. Now, this is the thing that also I do want to mention concerning even BNB LION and some of the other tokens I'm getting ready to discuss. Here we are in the midst of getting ready to go into a massive bull run. We shared that after the halving, there's always usually a major bull run. And, in this time with the ETFs and everything else, and the crypto space getting crowded more and more with new tokens being flooded, new tokens being promoted, and whether they're good or bad, but there has been a slate of new tokens that are worth investing in that may have the backing of BlackRock and other hedge funds and so on, right? And so you have to keep up with your projects. Right now, even though BNB FROG, he hasn't posted for the last couple months, it seems like everything else is starting to go downhill. And if these guys want to get on a good exchange and not just some crap exchange, they're going to have to do much, much better than what they're doing. And you know what? We don't have time, right, to be messing around with a project, that's been around for a year and a half and you're not moving forward. And, you want us to help you promote, but then you disappear. So those are some of the things that I see that, especially in this climate, and you stop updating your investors, to me, it's not worth holding. And if there's if there's a boom, well, guess what? So what if I miss it and it goes up 100 or 200% and I invest back in, right? If it's going to go as people say it's going to go. Now, one thing, the BNB FROG website is working. So I forgot to mention that when I got finished talking about BNB FROG. So I wanted to make sure you guys have all the information before you make any type of decision. Now, the next one is MINITiGER. Has like 20 zeros, right? There's only $800 left in liquidity. So this token is done. There's still almost 2,000 holders within this token. So again, they haven't posted since November 30th of 2023. There was a big gap between September, right? They were talking about, here we are so back, right? So when they come back, it pumps up the price a little bit, and then they stop posting. Basically abandon the project because they're not posting anymore. Let's check out their website. Their website isn't working anymore. I'm not even going to bother going to the Telegram. This token is not going to go anywhere. And then when you go to Token Sniffer, you see this warning. This token was flagged due to evidence of a bug, hack, or scam. At least the contract was renounced. It still gives some people an opportunity to get out of this coin. There's only a little bit of liquidity left in this token. So if you did invest in this token, most definitely I would get out of it. The next one that was discussed was BNB Panther. I didn't see anything specifically. I think somebody asked me about it once when people were investing in it, and I just thought that it was just another token that was just trying to ride the BNB Tiger train at the time, right? So you have just a little bit under 4,000 in liquidity. None of it is locked. Okay, so there's not that much money left in it. And then not only that, here in June, 99% is locked until June the 3rd of 2024. This expires soon. So if you are in BNB Panther and you're trying to get out and it won't let you exchange it on PancakeSwap, then you'll have to wait until June the 3rd to get out of BNB Panther, right? Then you can sell it off. I think sometimes there's people that come into these groups and they prophesy coins they've created. And when you go to their Twitter, they haven't posted since March of 26. Then all of a sudden they post here, this is a new beginning, and post the account for BNB WHITETIGER, and that is gone itself. So that's red flags right there. So they stopped posting after July the 13th and didn't start posting again until February the 17th. They said their website was disabled. Yeah, so their website is still not working. It's the same MO as everyone else. So I'm not even going to bother going to the Telegram because this coin is dead, but there's not that much liquidity, and you might have to wait till June 3rd to be able to pull your money out of that. So mark that on your calendar, which is just a week away. So then there was the link to the BNB WHITETIGER, right? And that liquidity shows just under 6K. And of course, most of these tokens always have lower scores. This one has 67% of the liquidity was unlocked on April the 24th. So that has expired. Okay, so here we are, BNB WHITETIGER, right? 309 followers. And they just posted this on May the 20th. Hey guys, maybe I've been silent too long. Well, yeah, that's what usually happens when you're not posting. And the posting has been random and sporadic. The project itself should be moving forward and not just being stagnated. Then there's no point of even staying invested in it. Right, here we go. Again, the website is no longer working. Right, I told you guys, when these guys come back after a long period of absence, these guys are probably launching projects every single day. Right, once you've learned how to launch a project, you can keep making all these different meme coins and creating all these different websites because they've made so much money every time they pull this stuff. And that's what gets me is that people claim to prophesy these things, and then yet the whole time it's a big scam. April the 20th, he posted about another coin that doesn't exist anymore because it's from a suspended account, right? So these guys, they promote other coins. So when you see a coin promoting another coin, then you know and you need to get out of it. White Tiger Moon was another one. I think that was just spit out there. There's still liquidity left in it, but I just want to share some things concerning this coin. They haven't posted since April the 20th of 2023, so they haven't posted in over a year. So according to what I show here, that there's still 10 BNB tokens as far as liquidity in PancakeSwap. It says here 99.67 locked liquidity for 198 years. But it just came to mind that I remember that the developer of this token said to go ahead and sell your tokens. Let's see if I can find that message. And that message was, attention to all White Tiger Moon. Kindly sell your token before unlock time. Let's proceed to our next journey. Thanks to all support in my project. White Tiger Moon is officially signing off. So this coin is not going to move forward. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to take off a whole bunch of zeros. There's only 10 BNB tokens that are locked. That means there's still some liquidity left that you can try to get some of your money back. At least that's the way I'm looking at it. I could be wrong, but it looks like there could be about 6,000 more that you can pull out from there. Now, one of the things that I wanted to share with you is something that I experienced, and I do experience from time to time, where people will try to contact me and they call me by my first name, like you'll see here. And it's just like, okay, obviously you're either in my group or you have joined one of the forums or you've done something that now you know me by my first name, right? Because most people call me TC. And so there's so many scammers out there, and I've busted some of them out, within these groups. Wrote me on Telegram and said, "Yo, Julius, God bless you. I'm Peter, the BNB Jaguar CEO. Julius, my brother, I would like to pass on some prophetic messages about BNB Jaguar to you." And so he was trying to make it seem like that this was a prophetic coin and that he runs the BNB Jaguar, and I just didn't. It was just during that whole craze of BNB meme tokens, I said, you know what? I'm not paying attention to this because I've seen it before multiple times. I've seen it within the groups and all that where people try to promote their coin that they've created as if it's prophetic too as well. Right? And so there's only $310 left in liquidity. So people have already pulled out of this. All right. And so even videos were made about it too as well. I stayed away from this completely, but a lot of people did get into it and a lot of people did lose their money. So one of the things that I know is that there's a lot of scammers out there. There's also a lot of people who are pretending to be Christians and they're well known. And, I've had a lot of people send me a lot of things, and I've kept quiet about some of those things. And some of those things I'll probably never share. And the things that I've seen, it goes to show that there are scammers on different levels. And whether you have their own personal prophet or their own personal soothsayer, as far as people spitting out coins or people creating their own coins and then lying about a dream or a vision, right, to get the wealth transfer people to invest. And it works really well. And the only reason why they are successful is because of the people that have more influence within the wealth transfer. They stay silent. They stay quiet. And they're afraid to say something. That's why this stuff continues to go on today. And some of those people have benefited from Christians investing into these things, thinking that there is a dream or a vision. Now, of course, we're not always going to get it right. But there are people that are out there trying to really benefit from what we're trying to do as far as what we believe the wealth transfer entails. And you're not going to get, $1 billion market cap to give all these people millions of dollars in these tokens that have 18, 19, and 20 zeros. It's going to be a fight for liquidity unless these tokens get on exchanges. Now, all the ones that I've talked about today, they should have already been on exchanges, at least one or two, even if they were small, because that means they're working towards something. They're not working towards anything here. In order for BNB LION or BNB FROG to jump up massively, like people have said, something major is going to have to happen where a lot of money is poured into these tokens. And I will tell you this before I wrap this up. When CZ was no longer the CEO of Binance, that hurt the BNB meme token market because it took a lot of the excitement that we had when we had CZ running Binance. Maybe after this election and after, DJT is put in, hopefully, that maybe he'll be able to return. I don't know. I think that all remains to be seen. So, folks, let all of this be a lesson to all of us here in the wealth transfer. How you look at prophecy, who is it coming from? And, if there's a discrepancy between people saying God is telling me to stay away from it, and some people are saying to roll with it, and trying to figure all of that out. And also, too, just because somebody has a dream doesn't mean that it's true, right? And there could be a number of reasons why that dream or vision is not true. People make up visions. You know what a vision is? People say, oh, I had a vision. And then that coin completely collapses later on down the road. So it makes you wonder what people are really seeing. Are they seeing what they want to see? Or are they hearing from the demonic realm? Because they're not hearing from God. So let this be a lesson for everyone in your path towards the wealth transfer. We have too many people that we are listening to that get prophecy wrong all the time. And there are too many people that are on a pedestal. And there are people that are promoting these people that getting 10, 20, 30, 100 prophecies wrong. So let all of this be a lesson to the wealth transfer. Anyways, folks, that is all that I have for this today. I thank you guys for listening. God bless. TC out.